Hello and welcome back to the UBL Season 2. This is Week 9. Your Orlando Solgaleo versus the Wexford Wailords, coached by IrishEmerald. The link to my opponent's team, as well as his channel, will be in the description. Be sure to check out my opponent and check out the other side of the match. Also, this week, I had to do the battle away from home. Just that's the way scheduling worked out. So we're actually going to be watching a replay, which is a little unfortunate. The battle went pretty long. We got pretty close to running out the clock, I think. It won't be quite that long watching the replay, fortunately, but we should still have a decent length battle for you guys to show you. Alright, I don't think there was anything else for me to say other than I'm just going to go over my team, and then I'm going to pull up the battle replay in the Festival Plaza, and we'll watch it because it was on my other DS as well. Alright, so for this set, I have to give a big shout out to Surakihiro. You guys who are regular viewers of mine, you know he's a mod on my Discord server, he's a mod on my Twitch channel, and he's one of a couple of people who really helped me out. Probably the biggest help I've had in just general my competitive Pokemon skills, my team building skills, and he gave me a lot of help with the sets for this week because I was looking at the team and he said, you know what, you should try something spicy. And he gave me some spicy ideas. So I'm about to show you what we came up with here. Most of the credit goes to Surakihiro, of course, but, you know, I discussed them with him and saw his thought process, and yeah, they were interesting. So, alright. We have our Mega Venusaur for starters. The same moveset as before, Giga Drain and Sludge Bomb. Well, we swapped out Leech Seed instead of Earthquake we've been having. And I went with Modest Nature, 124 HP, 112 defense, 128 special attack, and 144 special defense. So kind of a whole mixed bag thing, having some more offensive power than before, but still some mixed bulk. The hidden power this time was Rock instead of Fire, and I know what you're thinking, like, oh, but you're facing a Mega Scizor. Wouldn't you want hidden power Fire? But that's exactly what my opponent was going to be thinking too. That was our logic. So, if I'm in against Scizor, he'd probably want to switch into something else. And we went for Hidden Power Rock. I asked him, why do you suggest Hidden Power? I asked Surakihiro, why do you suggest Hidden Power Rock? And basically he said, you know, so Salamence can't switch in for free. So who else did he have? He had a couple of Pokemon that didn't want to take a. It was so. Araquanid, if he brought Araquanid, or Darmanitan, or Salamence, couldn't switch in for free, and it would do pretty good damage to all of them. And I said, well, you know, Sludge Bomb kind of does the same, or I could just Leech Seed them. But it was basically a good hedge, I guess, because if he stayed in with Scizor, then I wouldn't do any damage, and it would be just a wasted turn. So the Hidden Power Rock was there. You'll get to see whether or not the play actually worked when we get to the replay here. But then we're bringing a Crocodile. Almost forgot your name for a second. We're running defensive this time. Max HP, max defense. A little tiny bit of speed to speed creep there with Intimidate, with leftovers, knock off Earthquake, Fire Fang, and Stealth Rock. Fire Fang being for that Scizor, of course, and the rest is pretty self-explanatory. Alright, next we're bringing Latios, we're bringing back the Jet Blue, running a Choice Scarf set. Now this is to outspeed the Zeraora because we don't have anything to outspeed unless we get webs up. With Trick, Dragon Pulse, Psyshock, and Defog, running Timid, max special attack, max speed. The trick is, of course, to trick Choice Scarf onto something, Defog's for hazard control, and the other two are just for strong stab. Again, fairly self-explanatory set, potentially getting some shenanigans in with the Trick and Choice Scarf. Next, we're bringing in Mimi. We are bringing Mimi with the Fake Out Double Hit U-Turn and Protect, with the Sylph Scarf this time to give a little more longevity compared to I usually run Life Orb on Ambipom for that little extra bite. But really, since we're running mostly Fake Out and Double Hit in this case, and U-Turn is just for pivot, this Silk Scarf does fine in this case. And Protect for scouting. And that's about that. Again, it's pretty self-explanatory set. Jolly, max attack, max speed. The usual set. Alright, here's where things get interesting again. We're running a hasty Galvantula this time, so that we can run Lunge to lower the attack, potentially lower the attack of something if need be. Because we've got Salamence there, not sure if Salamence might want to set up, not sure if Mega Scizor might want to set up, Zeraora perhaps. Araquanid, you know, there's a bunch of physical attackers on this team. Even Hoopa. Hoopa could be physical or special, depending on how you want to run him. I did get the feeling he would probably be more likely to be special because my opponent's team has more physical attackers in general. But anyway, running that lunge to lower attack. And we got Thunder Wave and Sticky Web for speed control, and Thunder just to hit something really hard with the Focus Sash, as usual, and Compound Eyes. But we are Hasty, max special attack, max speed. Alright, and Primarina, possibly one of the most interesting sets. Let me pull up what this EV spread was, too, because it was another one of those mixes. Alright, Calm Nature with 176 HP, 92 defense, 164 special attack, and 76 special defense. Just kind of be a tank. Scald to burn things, Ice Beam, particularly for that Salamence. Perish Song and Encore. This was mainly to prevent setup, to discourage setup, and to discourage stalling. And not to spoil, we do get to see a tiny bit of that at play. Maybe, with this set. Liquid Voice, I'm not sure what the Liquid Voice was for. I think it's just there. The ability doesn't really matter on this Primarina set, honestly. Anyway, I think we've done it. So I'm gonna cut away for a moment and I will see you again when I've loaded the battle video and we'll check it out, and hopefully I'll remember my whole thought process. It was just this morning. It's been a few hours, but it was just this morning, so hopefully it's not too bad. Alright, see you in, sorry for the long intro, but I wanted to give you a rundown of my team since I had more time this time, since it's after the fact. But anyway, I'll see you in a minute. Alright, here we are. Here's the replay. Like I said, I'm gonna go, I might rely on pausing the video, if I can do that, to remember my thought process, but I'm gonna try to remember it in real time, without further ado. I don't know how long the video's gonna take, because we were at, like, about the 50-minute mark or so, as far as our battle timer went. So, yeah, we nearly ran out the clock, not quite. But anyway, I went with the Galvantula lead. Galvantula's set was basically meant to be a lead, hoping no matter what I could get some damage off. Now, he leads with the Scizor, which I wasn't quite expecting, but that's pretty safe for him. Just U-turn on something. I was debating whether to try to Thunder Wave something, or whether to just set the webs, which, yeah, I went back and forth. I was thinking, I'm just gonna paralyze something, because he's gonna go ahead and Thunder Wave, I'm just gonna go ahead and Thunder Wave. But he does stay in. Well, he stays in and goes for the U-turn. I wasn't thinking about that I'd outspeed it, which I guess makes sense, but I wasn't thinking in terms of that I would outspeed him. And then the Zeraora comes in. So really, I should have gotten the Sticky Web up right then and there. It's unfortunate. So now the Zeraora just kind of has free reign, and I'm damaged on the Galvantula. So I just go into Venusaur to try to resist whatever's coming in, and he predicts me, of course, and goes for the Acrobatics. To be honest, that was a pretty smart predict. But I was pretty bulky, so I decided to just stay in and just go for, I forget whether it was a Giga Drain or a Sludge Bomb. I was debating whether to try to get some HP back with the Giga Drain or just to go for Sludge Bomb. I think I hedged that Sludge Bomb would be the best overall choice. Yeah, I think I go for the Sludge Bomb here. And I'm expecting this to do a decent amount, but I was not expecting a bulky Hoopa, which was really impressive on my opponent's part. Like, that was a pretty good play because Hoopa's got enough offensive power as it is. But we do get the poison, which doesn't make too big of a difference. So at this rate, I'm not sure whether the Hoopa is physical or special, but I go into Nixon to get the Intimidate off just in case he's physical, although I was pretty sure he's going to be special. And he does come in with the Energy Ball. I was not expecting that. I was expecting maybe a Focus Blast. But even so, that did a ton of damage. We still managed to live on 2, so he might have gotten a low roll there. I know he's not he can't be fully offensively invested, so I decide to stay in. Unfortunately, my Crocodile gets wasted there early. I guess the crit that he doesn't need. That was a really unfortunate waste with Zeraora still around. I didn't switch into the Zeraora originally when it first came in because I didn't want to take a close combat, although I did think Intimidating would be potentially useful. So I come in with the Ambipom. I know he's going to put someone else in, so I'm just going to get a U-turn just to get a little switch initiative. Oh, I accidentally hit the previous turn sign. I apologize. I'm not gonna press forward because it's gonna take longer to skip ahead than it's gonna take to play the video. And I forgot we can't pause. We can only go forward or backward. Anyway, you're gonna get to see this turn one more time. I'm gonna keep my hands off the DS. I'm just gonna talk. But yeah, anyway, so I bring the Ambipom in. I know he's gonna switch out because it's really easy for me in this case to just U-turn for the KO on this. So instead of doing that, I just decide, all right, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna U-turn anyway. Like I said, get the switch initiative. I'll lower my desktop audio a little bit there. All right, so he's got the Hitmontop with the Intimidate. We go get the U-turn. I'm not sure what to do here, but I'm afraid of Toxic on this thing, so I do send in, I go for Venusaur. I send him back in. Again, not sure if there's anything too bad the Hitmontop can do to me. So I'm gonna go in there, and I think I'll go for Leech Seed, expecting him to maybe switch. Just trying to see what happens. So we get the Leech Seed off. He does stay in. I'm not sure what he's gonna go for, and then he goes for the Seismic Toss. Now, this presents a problem for me because Seismic Toss, of course, doing set damage. I don't really have anybody who just plain wants to switch into this thing. So I'm a little bit nervous here. I don't want to waste my Venusaur, but I'm not sure what to do. So he does switch in the Hoopa back in on the Venusaur. I do go for the Giga Drain because I didn't want to switch anybody else in, so I figured I'd just see what happens if I Giga Drain, see how much Giga Drain would do. I do a little bit to the Hoopa. I get a little bit of HP back, which is nice. The Hoopa, of course, is still alive. I don't want to sit in and take like a Psyshock or a Psychic. So I send in the Latios, hoping that he doesn't pick a Dark-type move to go for. And he does go for Psychic instead of Dark Pulse, which I'm happy about. So at this point, I'm not sure what to do. I thought about going for Trick, but since Mega Scizor... Oh, the Poison takes out the Hoopa. That's right. So we do get the indirect KO on Venusaur's part for that Poison. So yeah, the Sylveon comes in. So I don't want to stick around for whatever the Sylveon's got. I know that Primarina should be able to tank whatever Sylveon can dish out, unless it has a random Psyshock on there, maybe. Goes for the Hyper Voice. It does an okay amount, but we can take it. And so now begins a little bit of the mind games. I think I learned Sylveon's entire set during this exchange. It goes for the Wish. I think I just go for a Scald. Yeah, I just go for a Scald to see if, see what he wants to do, see if he switches in, see how much damage it's gonna do. So it does about a quarter, so this Sylveon's reasonably bulky set. Bulky offense, perhaps. I think it's more of a bulky set based on how much its Hyper Voice did. And went for the Heal Bell, which is going to heal the Paralysis on Scizor. It doesn't matter with the Hoopa because the Hoopa's gone. So I go for the Perish Song. Again, because I'm not sure what to do here. I'm just kind of feeling things out here. But since the Sylveon's going to be around healing, I want to kind of encourage it to not stick around and try to outlast me. It was at this point, I believe I stay in for a Scald. Again, trying to see if he wants to swap out right then and there or not. And we do get a crit Scald, which doesn't much matter. And it's going to get a Hyper Voice on us. So this was just a turn for both of us to get some damage off on each of our respective walls. We're fairly evenly matched. I guess the Sylveon has a slight edge because of its ability to heal. But I haven't revealed the Encore yet. We've got the Perish Song in there. So I decide to swap out. And I go for the Venusaur since I figured out, well, I haven't seen its fourth move yet. And Protect, there's the fourth move. So I have its whole moveset. So I know the Sylveon can't really hurt my Venusaur. So I send in the Venusaur. I know Sylveon's going to switch out, so I don't remember what I went for, though. I tried to just see what I could get damage off. I think I went for a Giga Drain. I think I was going to use this turn as an opportunity to get some healing. And of course, I get very little. The Scizor coming in was predictable, but I didn't have Hidden Power Fire, which would have been interesting if I had gone for it in that turn if I had it. So he's going to go for the U-turn. Here's where I do the Hidden Power trick. He's going to do U-turn, and so I'm going for Hidden Power Rock, see whoever comes in. And in comes the Salamence. That was the best possible thing he could have gone into. He gets the Intimidate off, it doesn't really matter. But it's nice to know that it is not a Moxie set Salamence. I mean, either ability for Salamence would be annoying, but Intimidate's a little bit less scary than Moxie. We do get the crit Hidden Power Rock. I'm, of course, not going to stick around for this. But so I go into Primarina. I have decent bulk, but of course he's going to go for a Roost. So it does mitigate a lot of the work we did getting that Hidden Power Rock off, but it was kind of cool to make that play, just to kind of, that it worked, that it was usable. So he's gonna withdraw. I think I went for a Scald. because I didn't expect him to stay in. Yeah, and I figured even if he did stay in, maybe I'd get lucky with the burn. So we are back to the Sylveon versus Primarina thing here. We get the burn off, which doesn't make too big of a difference, but it just kind of... I don't remember if burn perfectly cancels out leftovers, but it mitigates the amount that it's healing from leftovers. Yeah, it's about the same, I think. I think it's about the same. So anyway, we effectively canceled out its leftovers for now. So I'm going to see if I can get a Scald. Again, I don't really want to switch anything in on this. It's going to go for a Wish. I think it was at this point, I realized I was faster than it, so I wanted to try to go for the Encore. And also, I didn't know yet if Encore was blocked by Protect. So I was pretty sure Perish Song was not blocked, but I wanted to try going for the Encore. See if I could lock it into either Protect or Wish. It does go Sylveon does go for the Protect. And I go for the Encore, but Protect does block that, so now I know that for future reference. But anything I would have done there, well, other than Perish Song, anything I would have done there wouldn't have been useful unless I just decided to swap into something. But I wasn't sure if the Encore would work or not. Alright, so at this point, I think we stick around in this stalemate a little bit more. So I'm just Scalding. I'm just kind of seeing what'll happen. I think we get, was that another crit? No, it wasn't a crit, but I did a decent amount again. Like, basically, my first instinct was to just keep kind of going for Scald, to put some pressure on him, like, if he wants to switch to something, because Scald should do decent damage to anything he would switch in. But I think he was just gonna kind of keep outwitting me there, as far as, like, outdoing me, in terms of just Wish and Protect. Really, if I thought about it, I had a feeling the Wish was coming that turn. I could have Encored right there and locked him into Protect, I think it was. Protect or Hyper Voice. Which I wouldn't have necessarily been wanted to lock in Hyper Voice, I don't know. So it goes for the Protect as expected, and I think I went for Perish Song here. Yeah. Just, again, to kind of encourage it to switch out. And I think it was at this point, I believe it was here that I decided to go for Encore, because it had just used Protect. It probably wouldn't want to Protect again. Would either go for a Hyper Voice or another Wish. I think it was this turn. No, maybe it wasn't this turn. I forget what I do this turn. I think I either swapped or I went for Wish. Maybe we were speed tied, actually. Yeah, because it went before me that time. I don't think I noticed that before, but I think we were speed tied. What are the odds of that, given the weird set I had? Do we have the same base speed? Is that what it is? And we just both had no speed investment? We do have the same base speed, so we must have been in a speed tie. I did not notice that. So I think I did Encore it into Wish. So at this point, I was safe to switch into whatever I wanted. I was gonna switch into Ambipom, because I figure whatever happens, I can get a U-turn off. And really at this point, I could get a Protect, or I could get a Fake Out into a U-turn. I know the switch is coming because Sylveon's Perish count is at 1. So yeah, and the Hitmontop is coming in. I was afraid, did I go for the U-turn again? Or did I go for Fake Out? I feel like I went for U-turn, yeah, because I think my thought process was, in case the Hitmontop brought Mach Punch. So I U-turned again. The Seismic Toss really bothered me. And now this is the point where I wish I could pause, because I knew I was kind of playing into his hand, but the temptation to take out the Hitmontop was a little too much. So I go for the Psyshock here. I almost went for Trick, which really would have been great if I got it on the Sylveon, either the Sylveon or the Hitmontop, if I had gotten the Trick off. But, you know, I did some damage to Sylveon. I think at this point, I just went in straight for the Primarina again. We went back to our old stalemate. But really, on that turn, I could have gotten a decent use out of going for the Trick. It really would have helped. It really would have shut down Sylveon, to be honest. It wouldn't have shut down Hitmontop so much because Hitmontop had offensive moves. But yeah, it really would have shut down the Sylveon. I mean, we'd have a Choice Scarf Hyper Voice going on, I guess, but all I have to do is bring out Primarina, and it would just be a matter of time. But anyway, I go for the Encore again. did I encore it last time? Actually, now that I think about it, no, I think I only encored it into Wish one time. I, like, looked down the last standoff we had. So this one I encore it into Wish. And so, at this point I swap. He swaps to... Or did I just go for Scald? I forget. The Hitmontop comes in. Yeah, I did Scald because I wanted to get... I knew something was gonna get the Wish heal, so I wanted to go for just some damage, no matter what. And I knew the Sylveon couldn't protect if Sylveon did decide to stay in. Now the Hitmontop's in. I'm bothered by Seismic Toss. If it weren't for Seismic Toss... Well, I'm bothered by Seismic Toss and Toxic, which is what comes out next. And I was afraid to bring in Venusaur because of that Toxic, so I bring in Latios instead. Now this is another point where I'm like, was this the turn? There was a turn that I decided I'm gonna go for Trick. And I forget whether it was this turn. It was this turn. I was really hoping the Scizor didn't come in, but to be honest, it was his safest bet, I think, given how much I did to the Sylveon. So my trick fails, of course, which is unfortunate, so I can't really pull that out again. So Primarina comes in, because I'm pretty sure I can take whatever it's got, so it's going to U-turn. And at this point, we're on turn 33 out of 50. Yeah, at this point, the Zeraora comes in, and here's where I kind of choke, because I really don't know what to do. Webs aren't up, so this thing naturally outspeeds everything I have. I think this is the point where I decided something has to get sacked, unfortunately. And I do sack the Galvantula because, I mean, really, if I had played it smart, now that I'm thinking back, honestly, I should have used the turn that Primarina, that I trapped Sylveon into Encore to get my web set up. That would have been a smart play. I wasn't thinking ahead. Now that I back up a little bit, I can see that that would have been a good strategy there. Alright, so now, with this Plasma Fist thing, alright, I send out Latios. I know that the Scizor is going to come in, but at this point I'm thinking like, okay, I'm Scarfed, I outspeed it. I could try to hit it. So I did try to hit it with the Psyshock, just try to get some damage off on it, to get it within range for Ambipom to do a Fake Out. Now, I didn't send Ambipom in from the start because I wasn't sure with Plasma Fist's effect if the Ion Deluge effect, which basically makes normal type moves electric type, which works for Zeraora because if I hit it with, like, say, a Fake Out, it would just heal because of Volt Absorb. Eventually I looked it up during the battle because it was bothering me and it was making me, like, not comfortable with the plays I was making. Eventually I realized that it was only for that turn, like the turn that it attacked. So anyway, we get this back and forth again, kind of a repeat of what we did a few turns ago. So I send in the Latios again. I know that I should be able to live a Plasma Fist, and I do, but barely. So Latios is almost wasted here. So at this point, I'm like, you know what? I should be faster. I'm Scarfed. I'm just gonna go for damage. And, you know, I was expecting Scizor. Oh no, I did switch it out. Sorry. I'm a couple turns ahead. So I was expecting him to go for something else. But he went for Plasma Fist again. I was expecting him to go for... Or was I expecting him to swap out? I was expecting him to swap out like he did last time, I think. But then he went for Plasma Fist again, and again, which made me start to think, you know, he's probably choiced. But I'm not sure. At this point, I'm thinking choice banded. But anyway, so unfortunately, I end up wasting the Venusaur there. But I bring in Latios again. Now here's where I'm thinking, okay, look, I'm just gonna go for it. He can take me out from here. I'm just gonna try to Psyshock and get damage off him, get him in Fake Out range. But he outspeeds me, so confirmed that the Zeraora was Scarfed. And at that point, I just knew that I really had nothing. I had nothing really to win with, because Crocodile was gone. I lost my Intimidator. My chance at webs were gone, so I just send out Mimi here, see how much Fake Out would do. And Fake Out does pretty well. And he's gonna withdraw. I did go for the Protect. And it's gonna be wasted here, of course, because the Salamence comes in. I'm gonna get intimidated. So that's unfortunate. And now that I'm intimidated, there's not much I can do, so I'm just gonna U-turn. to get out of there. So unfortunately, I fumbled a bit with Zeraora, not knowing exactly how the Plasma Fists work, and then not knowing if it was scarfed, and it being scarfed really was kind of the nail in the coffin for any chance I had at fighting back against it. So I just send in Primarina, and I had a feeling that I could probably live another Earthquake, so I figure I'm just gonna try. I'm just gonna try and take out the Salamence, do my best. But at this point I knew that I made too many mistakes, and he outsmarted me on several occasions. The Zeraora was the biggest problem. I mean, as you saw, it took out half my team, because I didn't have an adequate way to deal with it based on the Pokemon that were left on my team. So Scissor's gonna come in here. I'm gonna go ahead and take me out, and I'm gonna drop my Stylus. So yeah, at this point, it's pretty much Ambipom versus the world. So, Mimi's gonna come out here. Mimi's gonna come out and do the valiant thing that she has to do. We're gonna go for Fake Out. But just to add the icing on the cake, just in case I have any shenanigans going on, I guess, brings out the Hitmontop to get the Intimidate off. Just to make my Fake Out that much less powerful. So at this point, I mean, I know I don't have a way of winning, but I want to just go for the Protect, just to kind of see what he's thinking. I want to see what's coming, see what he's got. And he does reveal he has the Mach Punch. So I'm like, okay, I'm done here. But honestly, when I look back, because watch how little Mach Punch does. It's a 3-hit KO, so if I had gone for double hit the last turn without before the leftovers recovery, I might have had a chance of at least well, no, I don't know. It's hard to tell. I might, with leftovers recovery, maybe I still wouldn't have taken it out. Oh no, I would have needed a third double hit, actually, to have a chance to take it out. So no, it is what it is. There wasn't a way I could have evened the score any more than I tried to. So that Mach Punch is going to be the game, and unfortunately we're going to have to take a 4-0 loss. But it was very well played by Irish. I can't complain too much. I have a few regrets, I guess, of what I did. Mostly letting Crocodile go too early and not getting webs up when I could have. Now that I think about it, when like I said, when I had Sylveon Encored, that really was my chance. I was not thinking webs at all. Once we got to, that was like the mid to late game. Once we got that far in the game, I was not thinking webs at all, but that would have been my chance to get webs up. I was just thinking of webs as a lead move, but I really could have, I guess, now that I think about it, it did cross my mind a little bit, but I thought that since Hitmontop was still around, that I didn't want to bother with it, I guess. But no, that probably would have been a better play. It would have kept the pressure on him a little bit more. But other than that, I was not expecting Scarf Zeraora, but I mean, he told me afterwards that he brought it specifically for Scarf Latios, so I mean, he did what he had to do. Nothing on my team was going to outspeed it, Zeraora naturally. The only chance I would have had was if webs were up. But anyway, so it was well played by him. This has been week 9. Week 10 is going to be, I believe, our final week. Let's see, against, I just had the team pulled up. Oh, it's this that I can't pronounce.
Nijmegen.
That. Wait, let me turn off the music for a second. The
Nijmegen.
Nuzleafs. that's I'm gonna learn how to pronounce that before next week. I'm gonna try. Alright, so that's our opponents for next week, and they should be our final opponents for this season. I wanna just take a moment to thank you guys so much for all of you, my longtime viewers, and some of you new people who found me through this league. I want to thank you guys. You were so welcoming and so positive on with your comments on my last match. I don't want to say I want to apologize, but like I wish I could be playing a little better for you guys. But it's been weird kind of coming in midway through the season But it's been a cool experience. Like the last draft league I did kind of had me burned out a bit, and but being able to come in mid-season with like a no pressure sort of situation was all right. So it's been fun. I mean, and I do hope if I get the chance to join for another season, it would be interesting, and I hope that I hope that I could do better for you guys. But all of the positive, I don't know, I'm going too long again, aren't I? Well, actually, this video, because it wasn't a live battle, this video is already shorter, so I'll take a little bit longer just to say one more time. It means so much to me. It just felt cool, all the positivity that I got from you guys, all the encouragement, and like as someone who only got into competitive battling in Gen 7, it's been cool. It's definitely been a lot of ups and downs and a lot of learning experience. But anyway, it's been so cool to be, there's a lot of amazing battlers in this league, and it's been so cool to be a part of that. But next week is going to be our final week, and we're going to do our best to keep on keeping on, and I hope I bring you some entertainment. And if you are new, check out some of my other stuff on the channel as well. You might consider checking out some of my streams. I have a little bit of an irregular pattern of whether I do Pokemon battles or whether I do other games, but I do tend to do viewer battles, and that's like my competitive Pokemon practice, so check those out if you haven't already. My Discord server link is in the description, and that's where I post when I'm about to stream. Anyway, enough of that. I've gone on too long. I guess I just really, last week's video was such an impact on my channel, and I just wanted to bring that out. I wanted to thank so much, I wanted to thank A-Drive's viewers for coming in and giving me compliments on how I played. Like, that was probably me at my best. So I'm glad that it impressed you guys. I'm really happy, and I hope I can keep playing well for you guys in the future. Anyway, that's it for now. That's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching once again, and I will see you next week for our final week of the UBL, week 10. I'm gonna stop playing with my stylus because I keep dropping it, but thank you guys. Bye.